guys, Anne-Marie here, and today I'm sharing another process for turning a 6x6 paper pad into a whole lot of cards. This whole holiday weekend I will be posting a video every day, so be sure to come back tomorrow for a layout share. Monday will be an organizational video, and Tuesday will be a layout process. All right, let's get started. I have a 24-page paper pad here, and so of course first I have to disassemble it. These papers are double-sided, so I did a little dithering about what sides I preferred. In general, I was trying to choose patterns for the background pieces and then tone-on-tone or B-side style papers for the mats. I also looked at the cut-apart cards because there were several sheets of those in the paper pad. I ended up choosing two that I cut up and used as focal images and sentiments, and I set those aside and I started cutting the rest. So since I used two for the focal images and sentiments, that left me 22 pages. Of those, I cut 16 into this first pattern here. So it's a 4" by 5.25" rectangle, which is one complete background mat. That left a 2" by 5.25" scrap and a 0.75" by 6" scrap for each of those pages. I'm going to use the big rectangle, like I said, as a background, but then I'm going to pair two medium rectangles together. That will create another background. And then I'm going to line up those tiny strips for a few more backgrounds. For my final 6 sheets of the paper pad, I cut those into 3 by 3" squares to use as focal image mats. And then after everything was cut up, I paired up backgrounds with squares and stacked them all up. I was able to use some of the larger cut apart cards alone, but most of them I ended up pairing with a square as a mat. As I assembled my cards, I used my edge distresser. So I did this as kind of just a simple way to add a little texture to dress up these cards because they are pretty plain Jane cards. If you don't have an edge distresser, you can use the blade of your scissors, although of course be careful. You can also just use your fingernail, anything like that, or don't use it at all. It's kind of whatever you want to do. I was also using this project, as an opportunity to use up a bunch of like random cardstock from my stash. So I had a variety of card bases. I've got some pink, I got some blue. I had a little bit of everything. What was nice about this is it gave me kind of a nice framing effect, like those colored card bases gave me like a nice little framing effect on those cards. But for a lot of them, I had these white background papers on a white base. And so the edge distressing was just a little way to add a little definition. Inking edges would help too, if that's more your thing. All right, for my focal images, I wanted to go as simple as possible. So I selected an icon from each background that I knew I had a die for in my stash. So if there were hearts in the background or on the square, then I knew I was going to use a heart as my focal image. If there were stars, I was going to use a star. If there were flowers, I'd use a flower. If there were butterflies, I'd use a butterfly. And then I just kind of sorted them into piles according to that. And again, got these all stacked up and I started assembling them. So after I'd assembled everything I could and I was going back to add the hearts, the stars, the flowers, the butterflies, I also went ahead and added sentiments as I went. I did do one big batch from a waffle flower label, stamp, and die set. It makes a bunch in one go. And those are the blue ones, the little blue strips you'll see. But others I used just a stamp from an Allie Edwards set and just did little fishtail banner ends with my punch for those. And I just kind of did that as I went. And then there, like on the flower die cuts, I added a little glitter in the center. And on the butterflies, I added a little foam square underneath each wing just to pop them up a little. So I'm going to give you close-ups in just a second, but here's a picture of the whole final big batch of cards. And then here are the variations. So this first set uses the largest rectangle, so the 4" by 5.25" rectangle as the background mat, topped with the 3 by 3" square, topped with a cut apart card. The next batch uses the large rectangle again as a background with the 3x3 square. And then I use my scraps to die cut hearts or stars or butterflies or flowers for the focal image. Next up, these are the 2" by 5.25" strips. So kind of the scraps from the big complete mats. And I just paired them together. Some of them I paired kind of contrasting colors, and a few of them were the exact same background. I still edge distressed all the way around because the patterns don't line up, so I didn't want to, ignore that. So I went ahead and edge distressed all the way around, so it's a feature, not a bug. And then last but not least are the little strips, so the 0.75 by 6" scraps, and I just line them up to create another background. All right, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. If you enjoy these types of videos, the 6x6 paper pad to card videos, please leave a comment or a thumbs up so I'll know to make more. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I recently bought a lot of 6x6 paper pads, so I'm thinking about making some more of these. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. In the meantime, I will see you tomorrow with a layout share. All right, bye.